Alright people, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to be predicting the results of Euro 2024 that's literally about to start in like 3 days. So actually that's pretty much it. It doesn't need more introduction than that. So these are my predictions for the upcoming Euro 2024. Now I'm going to do an entire prediction thing here, like including everything up until the final, but maybe I'll revisit it after the group stage is done. Maybe not. We don't know. If there is some significant departures, maybe I'll revisit it after the group stages. But anyway, you know the usual YouTube thing, like, subscribe, all that, and let's get on with it. So, the first group, wait, how do we scroll? Okay, so that's the scroll, okay. So first group, who do I think will win this group? I think I'm going to go safe here and I'm going to say Germany wins the group. Because Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland, Germany has bottled for the last many years at this point. And they haven't really done well on the international stage, be it Euros or be it in, the World Cup. But in this group, I mean, surely they will go through and surely they will top the group. So yeah, as far as runners-up go, I am actually going to make my first controversial prediction. I'm going to say Hungary. Now, why do I say that? If you guys remember the last Euros, Hungary, again, if I'm not wrong, my memory might be a little bit hazy, but Hungary was in the same group as Germany. And that final match day was ridiculous to the point where in every single stage of those 90 minutes, there could have been any team that either topped the group or dropped out of the competition entirely. It was that close. I can't remember the other teams that were there, unfortunately. But yeah, it was that close. So yeah, Hungary did well then. I actually don't know how well they're doing nowadays, but just feels like maybe they'll do better this time, considering the group. Honestly, neither of these teams really impressed me that much. So I'm going to say Hungary finishes second and does one better. So as third goes, I would say Scotland. This is an entirely, how do I put this? This is an entirely just random prediction. I don't know who's going to go through there, but I'm just saying it would be Scotland. All right, Group B. The group of death this time around, because honestly there is no other group of death here. Like, all other groups have some clear favorites. This one is too hard to call. The only thing I can probably say for certain is that Albania is not going anywhere. Other than that, these three teams, like, take your pick. But as far as winners go, I would actually pick Spain. The reason being, I think this time around Spain has a very decent and balanced squad. They had that the last time. I would say the squad was very inexperienced last time. They had some really great young talent who have now matured even more. But that doesn't mean Spain is not going in with the young talent, because there is a 16-year-old playing for them, a Barca guy. Lamine Yamal is going to be playing. Pau Cubarsí is not playing, but which is fine. He's 17 and Spain does have good defenders. So that's not really a problem. So Spain actually, among these teams, have the most exciting squad. I don't know what De La Fuente is going to do with that squad. In my opinion, he's not a better manager than Luis Enrique, but that's just my opinion. Just keep it with me. So I guess we'll see. This will be his big test, I guess, because this is, if I'm not wrong, this is his first tournament. Like, he has obviously been in charge of the Spanish national team since the World Cup. Like, since after the World Cup, but I think this is his first major tournament, so we'll see how that one goes. As far as the second place is concerned, again, this is going to be a very difficult thing to call, because this is going to be a very close group. I don't think there is going to be an outright winner here. So I'm going to say Italy. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say, wait, hold on. I'm going to say Croatia. Croatia for second place. I just think Croatia still has that edge. They may not be the best team ever, and they're definitely not in their 2018 zone or even in the 2022 World Cup zone. Like, 2022 World Cup, they did well, in my opinion. But they're not in that 2018 zone where they've just made it to the finals and they genuinely were one of the best teams in the tournament. But I still think Croatia is there, even though Italy themselves, like, they have the talent to beat virtually everyone, I don't know. I'm just backing Croatia. This is vibes, guys. There is no way I can pick among any of these three teams in an objective manner. Like, other than maybe Spain, I would say has that edge. Like, it's very difficult to pick this group. And I'm going to say third place Italy. And given that the points total is going to be very close, whoever finishes third in this group, they probably won't make it to the next round, because you need that points to make it to the next round. I don't think whoever has it here, they are obviously going to get less points. Or it could be in a completely reverse situation where all the three teams end up pretty much on the same points, and so they actually have a good total of points. So again, we don't know what's going to happen, but let's hope for the best. I really hope all three make it into the round of 16, because otherwise it would be weird. Anyway, Group C, and here there is an obvious winner in England. Like, I don't think anyone can really argue there. And I would say there is also an obvious runners up there in Denmark. In the third place, take your pick. I'm gonna go for Serbia here, because I actually have never watched Slovenia play. I actually have watched Serbia play, so I'm gonna go for them. So this one I actually don't know. These two I am fairly certain about. Now this might not be the group of death like Group B is, but this is a fairly decent group. And well, Netherlands, they don't have Frankie de Jong anymore. He's ruled out for Euros, but in my opinion, like, he's obviously a great player and he would definitely benefit the Netherlands squad. But taking him away, while it does affect the squad, they still have a lot of depth to cover for him. So I don't think he'll be affected as much as, say, Poland will be, because Poland's first game is against the Netherlands and they will be without Lewandowski. Now, they might get him back for the other games, but they definitely won't have him in their opener. And that's a problem. So for me, in Group D, France wins it because it's France. France pretty much has one of the best squads. They have Kylian Mbappe, who, in my opinion, right now is the best player in the world, even though he won't win the Ballon d'Or this year because he was playing for what I would say is a pathetic, and honestly, I don't even want to call them a football club. They are just not serious. They're a joke. And yes, they beat Barca. They beat my club. But my club are a bigger joke, so that doesn't really count. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say. So France, the France easily go through, top of the group, no questions there. The second position, I would still say Netherlands, because they still do have a very balanced squad. And in the third place, I'm actually going to put Austria over Poland, because Austria, again, have a good squad. They may not have that one player that makes the difference, but then again, neither do Poland at the moment, because Lewandowski is out for the first game. And we don't actually know if he's coming back for the other games. And even if he does, he started off with an injury. He's not going to be the sharpest. So I'm going to put Austria there. All right, let's go to Group E. And here we have Ukraine, Slovakia, Belgium, and Romania. And here I would say Belgium top the group because they have the best squad, easily. Now in the second place, I would say Ukraine. Ukraine do have some great players. And with Sigankov is Ukrainian, right? With the way Sigankov has played in La Liga this year, him being up front, that's quite the threat. So yeah, I'm going to pick Ukraine in the second place. And I'm going to say Romania go on in the third place. Honestly, this could be a coin toss between the two, but I'm going to say Romania go through. But like not through into the next round, through the third place. Alright, Group F. We have Portugal, we have the Czech Republic, Georgia, Turkey. And I'm going to say Portugal goes through. Runners up, Turkey. Because Turkey have a really good team. They haven't been playing the way they really should have, considering the amount of talent they have. But hopefully that changes soon. And I'm going to say Czech Republic for the last one. Czechia. I don't know how to pronounce that. I am just going to say Czech Republic. I don't even know if that's accurate anymore. So forgive me if I'm wrong. All right, let's proceed to the round of 16. Best of the third place teams. Now, Ideally, again, as I said, probably the Italy won't make it, but I'm going to select Italy because that would just make things more interesting. So I would say Italy, I would say Scotland, I would say Austria, and I would say the Czech. These would be my picks. And in the round of 16, now we have our picks. Now, Germany versus Denmark. Interesting, but I would give it to Germany. Hungary versus Croatia. I think this might run a little bit close, but I'm going to pick Croatia here. Spain versus Austria. Again, it might run a little bit close, but Spain might edge it out. Spain actually does have some good attacking options now. So I'm going to go for Spain here. England versus the Czech, and I would say England because, of course. Portugal versus Italy, and my God, come on. This is just... this is ridiculous, isn't it? So, Portugal versus Italy, great matchup. But honestly, this time around, I am backing Ronaldo to actually go far into the tournament because, Messi had his moment in the World Cup and he got this moment to shine. And I just want it, I want their era to end on that note, end with them being, kind of the equals that they were. I would always rate Messi above Ronaldo because in my opinion, Messi just has that just raw talent and he's a freak of nature. But then again, so is Ronaldo. And I really appreciate the kind of player that he is. And I really want that rivalry to end on that note and end on that high, where they both shine for their respective teams and they both sort of ride off into the sunset. So I'm going to go with Portugal here. There's no logical reason. These both are really evenly matched in my opinion, but I'm going to go for Portugal. Alright, next up, Netherlands versus Ukraine. Ukraine might have some good players, but Netherlands have the more balanced squad. So I'm going to go for Netherlands here. Belgium, Scotland, same thing. Belgium just have the better squad. Again, I'm playing it a little bit safe here, but you get what I'm coming from. Now, France versus Turkey. I think this might run close, but again, when you have someone like Kylian Mbappe on your team, things become a lot more simpler. So I'm gonna say France. Alright, we are in the quarterfinals. Now it's Spain versus Germany. That's a juicy fixture. Portugal versus Netherlands. Okay, these are all going to be really good fixtures because this is the quarterfinal stage now. So let's start. Spain versus Germany. I would say Spain. Spain has really good attack and they have a really good midfield. The defense is, I would say, a bit lacking. The goalkeeper, Unai Simon, is a good keeper, but he does tend to make mistakes. But on the other side, we have Neuer, who really... I rate Neuer very highly. He's one of my favorite keepers of all time. Seriously. Of all the keepers that I've watched, yeah, Buffon would be my pick over him. If I had to actually assemble a team, I would pick Prime Buffon over Prime Neuer. But Neuer is still up there. But he's not the same player that he used to be. He does make a lot more mistakes. And over the years, we have seen this German style of keeping not really working. The same problem was, plaguing Ter Stegen. At Barca, he's suffering through some of those same things. And yeah, so I think in terms of keeping, I would say neither of those teams look particularly solid. In terms of attack, I think Spain has the better attack. And in terms of midfield, yeah, Germany does have Musiala. They do have Muller. Wait, do they have... Is Muller playing? Actually, don't know. If he is, I mean, that's a great option to have. And I do think Germany has a good midfield, but you can't really compete with Spain's midfield. Spain's midfield is actually ridiculous. So I'm just going to put Spain over them. Now, Portugal versus Netherlands. And here I would say these teams are evenly matched. Something magical would need to happen to separate these two teams. And I am hoping that something magical is Ronaldo. So I'm going to put Portugal over Netherlands there. And well, next we go for Belgium versus France. And honestly, I think this would be the closest one. I think this is the closest one. Even though France has a really good squad, so does Belgium. Belgium has always been that team that are almost there, but not quite there. Maybe this time it will change, but I can't really bank on that changing. So I'm going to say France goes through. And in the quarterfinals, my first shocker of the bunch would be saying that Croatia goes through against England. Because we have seen Croatia put in those performances. And we know what they are capable of. We know England is always a bit shaky. We know England always underperform considering the sheer amount of talent that they have. And I think this is the moment where Croatia would really shine. Again, this is a gut feeling. At this point in the tournament, you really can't split these teams anymore. They are on the same level playing field. So this is really a gut feeling more than anything else. Alright, now to the final. Now we have Spain versus Portugal, which the last time they met in a World Cup was one of the best matches. It ended 3-3 with Ronaldo, of course, scoring that curler of a free kick past Busquets' head. I will always remember that because I was really sad. But yeah, Spain versus Portugal would be a very interesting matchup because I wouldn't say Portugal has a same amount of the same level of players as Spain does, but they do show up in the tournaments. And Portugal, I don't want to count them out, but I would still say Spain go through on this one because I think they are objectively the better team among the two. Now, would I like for Ronaldo to actually go through and actually win it all? Yeah, I would. And this, by the way, is coming from me, who is a Barca fan, who actually, before I even started supporting Barca, I supported Argentina. Argentina, for me, came from my family, not from anywhere else. My family supports Argentina, and that's how I got it. And for me, I supported Argentina before I even supported Messi, and Messi was just the cherry on top, and he went on to become the best player ever to play the game, in my opinion. And so yeah, I am very much on that side. I am a Messi fan. I will always rate Messi higher than Ronaldo. I am a Barca fan again, and I am an Argentina fan. I have their jersey literally in my closet, which I am going to wear when I go for the Copa America predictions. So yeah, for me, I have all of those biases, but I still would love to see Ronaldo win this. I would love to see Ronaldo play in these knockout stage games and, actually have an effect on the game. I just want him to have fun. This would be his last tournament, and I just want him to have the time of his life there because he deserves it. As a footballer, he deserves it. Alright, the next semi-final though is France versus Croatia. So this, of course, is the final of the 2018 World Cup. That did not end well for Croatia, if you guys remember, because, of course, Kylian Mbappe being an absolute monster. And I think that will happen again because it's very difficult to discount someone like that. I'm not going to sit here and say that France doesn't have any other good players. It's not all on Kylian Mbappe. Let's just say Croatia marks Kylian Mbappe out of the game. They still have Dembele. Dembele might run hot and cold, but sometimes he does run hot. Then you have Griezmann as well. Griezmann was having one of his best seasons ever. The only reason he wasn't rated that much was because Atletico as a whole didn't play well. But Griezmann was playing well. If you look at his performances versus Real Madrid this season, it is actually ridiculous. He is spinning around Vinicius Jr., a player who is, by the way, a lot faster than him. And so, yeah, Griezmann is honestly at the top form. Their defense is ridiculous. The midfield, I would say, is France's weak point again. Not by much, mind you. It's not a really bad situation. It's just an average situation. Compared to something like Spain, yeah, their midfield isn't as good, but their attack is lethal. Their defense is great, and their keeper honestly isn't that shaky. So I'm going to go with France here. And as for the final, I'm going to say France wins it all because I'm just going to click submit here. It's loading. So I'm going to speak while it loads. Yeah, it's loaded now. So yeah, for me, France wins it over Spain because, again, when teams are that closely matched, you need someone to step up and do it. Now, Spain has some great players. They have Nico Williams, who honestly has been brilliant. He has been brilliant in La Liga. He has been brilliant every time he has played for Spain. You have, of course, Lamine Yamal, because My God, a 16-year-old doing the things that he has done this season, like, if you are someone like, say, a Real Madrid fan and you don't rate him as much, it's on you, man. Because you cannot seriously tell me that there is another 16-year-old who is doing these things. It's actually ridiculous, to the point where I actually don't want him to play that much, because he's 16. His body still hasn't even developed yet. Like, he's an actual kid. So for him to be playing at this high of a level, it's a very different sort of an experience. And he's one of those players who can make a difference. And that's just the attack. Then you get to the midfield where, of course, Pedri is there. And we saw Pedri against Northern Ireland. And he was playing in that more advanced role. And he's banging in goals now. That was the one thing missing from his game. Now he's doing that. Actually, I shouldn't say it was missing. It was more like he was deployed further inside. So he wasn't really scoring that much. But now that he's ahead, he's scoring again. Because he was scoring. Before he got injured last season, he was scoring for Barca. So yeah, he was scoring there. But, you know, all of that can be matched by France. France has a good team to match all of that. And they have Kylian Mbappe. You know, I'm sitting here talking about Lamine Yamal doing some ridiculous shit when he's 16. But you also have to consider Mbappe. Yes, Mbappe is not 16 anymore, but he is slowly hitting the prime of his career. And he is what we all hope Lamine Yamal is going to become. Like, not a player who plays for PSG, mind you, not that, but the kind of effect that Mbappe has on a game. Like, many people say that Mbappe ghosted in the World Cup final in 2022. And people don't really understand how football is played. Not every player is going to be there 100% of the time. And if you're really talking about ghosting, have you ever seen Messi like recently play these games? Sometimes he's just walking. He's not really involved in the game that much. But then he just switches a gear and just starts playing. That's what these great players do. At any point, they can come alive and they can absolutely turn the game on its head. He did that in a World Cup final. Yes, one of them were penalties. But the second goal was phenomenal from Mbappe. And the third one was again a penalty. And some people are, oh, he's taking penalties for a goal. Does it matter? Like, the people who say that penalties aren't rated, I want each of them under that pressure to go take a penalty. When your team is 2-0 down, you go take a penalty that basically decides the momentum for your team. You go take that shit. And then you come tell me that that's an easy thing to do. Because let me tell you, it's not. It's not easy to take penalties like that. Anyway, far from that rant, my point is Mbappe is that X factor. When the teams are that closely matched, that one factor can change the game for you, and Mbappe is that. Maybe Lamine Yamal could be that for Spain. Maybe Nico Williams could be that for Spain. Maybe Dani Olmo could be that for Spain. Maybe there's a lot of maybes. But what we do know for sure is Kylian Mbappe. He's the sure article because he has shown it time and time again. So that's why I'm going to go with Mbappe here. As much as I hate France winning, especially over Spain, that's going to be my prediction. So do let me know down in the comments below, guys, what you guys think. And well, like, subscribe, you know, the usual YouTube thing. And all that said, I will leave you guys in peace.